I want to see that battle. Hell yeah. But that's what I thought it was going to be. Like, I thought it was going to be, okay, now it's going to be Arnold and his team. And maybe, there's a friction between Sly and Arnold. And, it's going to be the Battle of the Titans. And Bruce Willis is the supervillain. And think about it. So you're telling me now it's Chuck Norris, Stallone, Statham, Bruce Willis, Arnold, Dolph Lundgren, Randy Couture, Terry Crews against Van Damme and Scott Adkins. Let me repeat that. Bruce Willis, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, Dolph Lundgren, Chuck Norris, Terry Crews, Randy Couture, the Asian chick. All those people against Scott Adkins and Van Damme. And some folks you don't give a fuck about. Kind of unfair odds, don't you think? Well, hell, even if it was just Arnold, Bruce, Sly, Statham, Lundgren, and Chuck Norris, that would be unfair odds against just Van Damme and Scott Adkins. Kind of unfair odds, don't you think? You shouldn't have everybody be the good guy. It's like 90% of them are good guys. It's like when you're on a team, when you're a kid, and no one wants to be the bad guy, everybody wants to be the good guy. But someone has to be the bad guy. That happened to be Van Damme and Scott Adkins, but that's what I mean. Like, I don't understand the church characters. Like, from the first one, he's like, I'm going to fuck you up, and I'm doing this and that. And then the second film, I'm going to help you out, and we're all smiling, kind of buddy-buddy at the end. I'm like, what? This doesn't really make sense as opposed to the first film. I love how on the Blu-ray, like, Stallone's kind of downing on the second film. I mean, on the first film. Like, when he's talking about the second film, he's kind of downing on the first one now. I mean, that's his opinion. He has every right to. I disagree. But it's like he doesn't really... He kind of downs on the first film a little bit in certain things. Like, yeah, the first one, we were trying some things, and some things didn't work out. And I'm like, what are you talking about, Sly? I loved it. But I know I'm not the only one, but, I mean... Like, don't... It's his opinion. I mean, it's his opinion. I get that. I just disagree. So, yeah, I mean, the accuracy at the beginning didn't impress me. The whole thing with Church and Arnold, now they're the good guys as well, and I'm like, wouldn't it be more interesting if they were the bad guys? Like, it's Stallone versus Arnold, and, like, this team going at each other. Dolph Lundgren's character, what they did to him, make him a joke, the butt of everyone's jokes, was like this badass in the first one. Now he's not. He's not a badass in the second one. It's fucking shitty. And then, as it goes along, we got fucking Liam Hemsworth and his stuff with Sly that I could give a rat's ass about. The first one, that was Mickey Rourke. I gave a fuck about Mickey Rourke. I gave a fuck about his speeches. Here is Liam Hemsworth. I don't give a fuck about Liam Hemsworth. He could be a drip off the sweat of my balls. That's how much I care about him. Actually, I care about the sweat more. Because it's part of me. Make a part of you. Sorry, Running Man. Makes me want to see the Running Man now. But it just... Liam Hemsworth and his fucking stories about a fucking dog. His fucking dog got killed, man. My fucking dog. Maybe he was a bitch. And he's back in heat. Oh, my fucking dog. Who gives a fuck about your dog? This film just pushed it way too far in the comedy route. I know people's problem with the first one, like one of them is it's too serious. I don't understand that. Most of the action films I grew up, Hard Target, the Rambo films, I'm itching my nose. Damn. Sorry. Rambo films, the Die Hard films, the Hard Target, Bloodsport, Kickboxer, Missing Action films, those were serious films. You had little bits of comedic moments, and some of them worked better. Tango and Cash and Commando. Back then, Commando, when you did those jokes, they were straight-faced. Because at the end of the day, Arnold's like, I gotta get my daughter. I gotta get my daughter. I gotta get my daughter. Kind of like Taken. But you have a little bit. But when you did like a joke, it was, you're funny guy, Sully. That's what gonna kill you last. You know. Here, it's like everybody's winking. Like, hey, Chuck, say a Chuck Norris fact. Like, Arnold, mention Rambo. I didn't see this movie to see a parody. That's what I was getting close to. I didn't know I liked Last Action Hero. I don't need this to be like Last Action Hero, though. Although I like Last Action Hero. I don't need Expendables 2 to be like that. But everybody loved it, except me. I'm one of the few. I know I'm one of the few, but that's why it's my list. That's how you know I'm being honest on stuff. I don't follow a crowd. I follow my crowd of me, myself, and I. But just way too much trying to be funny, and just, it was a shitty script. In my opinion, a lot of the jokes failed. Not every single joke, but a lot of them wasn't funny. Like, I was in the theater, and then at home, I wasn't laughing. I was cringing. Who's next? Rambo? I'm like, Arnold, you really need to relearn how to do the comedy. Grant, I know you haven't been there, but your one scene in the first film was good. But here it just... And all these references people say, oh, the reference at the airport with the x-ray machine. I'm like, that's not a reference. It's because it was in an airport. The movie takes place in an airport. So they have an airport scene. You know, airport x-ray machine. That's not a reference to Total Recall. There we go. That's not a reference to... Or, oh, that thing from Total Recall when they go through... No, it's because the cave is down and they need a machine to go through it. A truck doesn't do it, so they have the machine. It's not a reference. Like, Lone Wolf, I can understand with Chuck Norris. But I don't... These other references, they were not intended. In my eyes. If I'm wrong, whoop-de-doo. That wasn't the big problem I had with it. It's just the action scenes really were let down. There really weren't much to run home about. And Van Damme, he has the one scene at the beginning, or not in the beginning, somewhat in the middle, when you first see Van Damme. He has the one scene at the end, and everything in between is pretty much shitty dialogue that you would hear about plutonium in a fucking shitty Seagal direct-to-DVD movie. I hate Seagal's direct-to-DVD movies. 95% of them suck, in my opinion. Maybe 98% of them, I don't know. About plutonium. I'm like, give him an action scene. Give him a scene where Bruce Willis went in with, or Bruce Willis sent a commando team before he went to the Expendables. Before he went to the Expendables, he sent a commando team, and he fucked them up. Van Damme, Scott Atkins came in, they fucked him up, he's doing his moves. Scott Atkins is showing how badass these guys are. How, wow, the Expendables are in deep shit. Look what these guys can do. Just the two of them. No, instead we gotta concentrate on this stupid bullshit romance plot with Stallone and this Asian chick. Non-you, whatever her name is. Didn't give a rat's ass about her. I'm like, you kind of did this with the first Expendables, with the girl in the first film. But her, it wasn't really a romance scene, it was more respect. Like, it was, oh, I respect this girl. She's wanting to die for what she believes in. That, to me, made it feel more than just, oh, she has the hots for Sly and his porno mustache. I don't know why, it just reminded me like a porno mustache. I like the way he looked in the first film better, to be honest. But, you know, the first time you see Chuck Norris, he comes out with that horrible, I hate that fucking shit that they use. It works for good and the bad and the ugly. Not for fucking this movie. Not for fucking Chuck Norris. It just made it a comedy. I did not pay to see a comedy. I paid to see an action film. Tango and Cash, it's funny, it's an action film. Commando, it's funny, it's an action film. Here, it's trying to be more like a comedy. That's what I felt. That's my opinion. That shit was like straight out of a parody. Chuck Norris coming out with that music is a parody. That's a parody shot. You want to be badass? Use the theme to the Delta Force. Use the theme to Lone Wolf McQuade, for fuck's sake. Use the theme to Missing Action. Bow, down, down. Bow, down, down, down. What? Ba-da-bum, bum, 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 bum. Ba-da-bum, bum, 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 bum. From Missing Action. Just the... People were like, what's that music? And then we were like, yeah, that's Missing Action. No, it's fucking a parody. It wasn't funny. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. And then a stupid Chuck Norris joke. Okay, Chuck Norris fats are old news, folks. How many years have they been around? Yeah, they were funny when I first heard of them. I'm tired of Chuck Norris fats. They've been around for how many years now? How many years have they been around? Seriously. How many years? It just... Seriously? Really? Like, can we get off the Chuck Norris stuff? I mean, Chuck Norris, when? 6 years ago, Chuck Norris was reading Fats. I had to look it up. Yeah, 6 years ago. On, like, the best damn sports show period. 6 years ago. You're 6 years too late. I understand Chuck Norris is old. He can't do too much. I understand that. But give him better lines. Or if, instead of a Chuck Norris joke, how about this? How about do this? Hey, Lone Wolf, don't be stepping on your toes now, man. I don't step on toes. I step on necks. Like, something like that. Like, if you don't reference something, reference that. Not fucking Chuck Norris fat. Reference that. Like, one of his most badass lines. Reference that. That would have been awesome to hear in the theater. Chuck Norris saying that in the theater. How awesome would that... That would be more awesome than fucking Chuck Norris fat. That sucked. In my opinion. Wasn't funny. Everybody else laughed. Why not everybody else? Anyway, I gotta wrap this up because it's already 30 minutes. I'm only on one movie. God, it'd be a fucking 5-hour thing. But it just... I don't understand why. I watch it on Blu-ray. I could see some practical squibs. I gotta be honest. But I still saw too much CGI. That was a problem I had with the first film. But why are you redoing the same problem? It's even worse in the second film when you've done it again. You haven't learned from the mistakes. The one mistake was, okay, you got no shaky cam. People are like, oh, Van Damme. I liked Eric Roberts as a bad guy. I'm sorry. I guess I'm one of the only few who liked Eric Roberts as a bad guy. I like Van Damme as a bad guy, but he didn't have much to do either. What, 2 scenes? When you first see him and he kills Liam Hemsworth's ass, and at the end. That's it. 2 scenes. 2 scenes. To be honest, I'd rather have Van Damme kill fucking Randy Couture and Terry Crews. And give more scenes to Van Damme. Or Dolph being a badass. I don't care about... Terry Crews, I liked him in the first film. Didn't care about him in this one. Never made me laugh. Oh, I'm cooking. Well, cook a helping of shut the fuck up. I'm sure people are like, oh, you do the same. Well, you can say the same thing to me too. But it just... God damn it. What's so great about this movie? I don't get it. I saw this. I really wanted to love it in the theater. It pissed me off. Well, more like it shell-shocked me. And I'm like, I don't know if I don't know. Seeing it again, it pissed me off. I'm so stupid it had such a delayed reaction. And then you get to the finale. I mean, Asian chick, don't give a fuck. Liam Hemsworth, don't give a fuck. Jet Li, he should have been in him more. Write him a better part. Randy Couture, don't like him. Terry Crews, didn't care about him in this film. His fucking shotgun. Put back the nuclear warhead ammo. Why'd you take him out? Oh, they did. Oh, yeah, when he killed that water tower. Why are you killing a water tower? In the first movie, you would have shot the fucking roof and... No, you're killing a fucking water tower.